Let's begin the discussion so that we can have time. Okay. Uh, we had talked about three M's of the marketing promotion, okay, and the framework. What were those three M's that we had covered? What was the first one we talked about?
Product price promotion.
No. Within promotion. I mean, within promotion. Yeah. One was the
Mission, money, and message.
mission, money, and message. Thanks, Piyush. Yes, that. What are the objectives? Okay, we talked about what are three broad objectives that brands talk to consumers about.
Awareness.
Yeah, awareness or information, and persuasion, conversion, and third is reminder building or building a brand. Reminder building a brand. So that's what mostly brands talk about. Largely, these are the three things that we talk about. Okay, so mission. Then we talked about budgeting, and I gave you a few very briefly. I talked about budgeting. I will talk about budgeting today a bit more in detail. That Piyush was talking about. And message, maybe also had a framework. Within message, we said there are different aspects of message, like identifying a message theme, which comes from brand positioning, target market, etc. Message strategies, cognitive, effective, and behavioral. Then we talked correct. Then we talked about execution, appeal, and then we talked about spokesperson, who the spokesperson could be, okay, which could be a celebrity or a regular consumer or a business leader. Okay, we also talked about a framework to understand. Okay, Gautami, that's fine. We also talked about a framework to understand. Are you here around 3:30 तक मिल मुझे? साबुत तेल नहीं बेच रहा आज? हाँ बेच नहीं रहा. मैं आता हूँ, ठीक है? I'll just finish the class and come. Okay, sorry. So yeah, so we were talking about the spokesperson, regular consumer, celebrities, और क्या होता है? Business leader, experts, right? We also talked about a grid, which gave us a framework, okay, that when to use what approach. Okay, what was that grid? FCB grid. Okay, so we talked a lot about that, right? We will quickly talk about a few things today. The last two parts are remaining. Okay, one is media, the other is measurement. Okay? Very important. Both are very important from end-to-end perspective and learning perspective. Quickly, let's talk about media. Okay, the channels through which brands speak to the consumer. What are these channels through which brands are reaching you?
Newspaper, television, radio,
newspaper,
TV
ads, billboards, okay?
posters,
Personal selling, very good, Sneha. Also, we talked about. Sorry, come again.
Messages like the promotion messages you get.
posters,
We had talked about a lot of promotion or communication with the consumer happens at where brands speak to you.
word of mouth.
Your project. Yeah, word of mouth also.
Word of
project.
Direct communication.
Your project that you're doing.
Retail.
Retail. Thank you, Yash. Retail. At the retail point, communication is happening or not happening? हमने इतना दो 1.5 sessions waste किया अपना. Okay. So we've been talking about a lot of this. Broadly, the channels of communication are divided into two parts. One is called above the line or mass communication, where the brands speak to the consumers on a group, one to many communication. Okay, one to many communication. Brands speak to a large set of consumers together. The other is what we call below the line. Below the line, brand speaks on a
one-on-one basis.
One-on-one basis. Very good, Aditi. Very good, Sunil. One-on-one basis, personal basis. Okay? One-on-one basis, personal basis. Mostly we will talk in this class, and what we have talked about is the mass promotion, and I will just broadly stick to that only. One-on-one communication, I have not covered a lot actually in this course. Okay. Mass communication के 4 methods होते हैं. What are 4 methods? Those 4 methods? Advertising.
The sales promotion.
Sales promotion, Aditi, and
So public
relation.
relation and publicity.
Public relation and publicity, and events and experiences. Okay, events. So these are the 4 mass promotion things. Let's understand advertising. Let's understand advertising. So with respect to advertising, you need to understand 3 terms. Okay, media vehicle, and advertising unit. Okay, I want you to understand these 3 things: media vehicle, advertising unit. Okay, what is a media for advertising? What are different media channels for advertising?
Billboards, magazines.
The TV, radio.
Print, TV is a media. Print is a media. Radio is a media. Digital is a media. Yes, online platform. Digital is a media. Very good, Ashish. Okay, very good, Aditi. You come very prepared. Okay, these are media. Okay, let's look at TV as a media. Sub advertising, everything is advertising. Okay, so advertising is the channel or method, and media is TV, print, radio, digital. There are many more also. Let's look at TV. What is a media vehicle? What is a media vehicle? What's a media vehicle?
Channels.
The specific channels. So ZTV is a media vehicle. Okay, Aaj Tak is a media vehicle. OTV is a media vehicle. Okay, am I making sense? So on digital, Instagram is a media vehicle. Okay, or a particular website is a media vehicle. These are media vehicles. Okay. What's an advertising unit? What's an advertising unit? What's an advertising unit? What's an advertising unit?
Event. Specific event.
Not the event. No, not the event. Not the event. Not the specific event.
The campaigns.
The campaigns, not the entire campaign. Not the entire campaign, but yeah. So one unit will be one kind of a content that you would create. Okay. So let's look at you create a TV ad. Okay, so you have created a content of, let's say, 2 minutes, okay, which you will do as part of your project also. So let's say you created a content. Okay. Now out of that content, different advertising units can be created, right? So there will be a 30-second edit, there will be a 60-second edit. उसी 30-second edit के 3 languages हो सकते हैं, right? Or there will be some different edits, and you know. So do you get the logic? Do you get the logic? या फिर background voice over change करके एक नया advertising unit create कर देंगे. Okay? Do you get the logic? So you'll see a similar campaign but in different formats, but similar ad but in different formats. So each format is a different advertising unit. TV में वो अलग-अलग advertising unit बनाना उतना easy नहीं होता है, because it requires a lot of money, yes, money, time, effort, and expertise. So it becomes very difficult. However, you will see for a single campaign, a lot of advertising units are created in case of print. Similar campaign है, but एक ही बार में shoot करा लिया बहुत सारा, तो बहुत सारे advertising unit बन जाते हैं. क्या change होगा उसमें? Different advertising units में क्या different हो सकता है? Similar campaign.
Language.
हाँ, language. Very good, Nirvik. Language could be different. Text content could have been changed. Okay. Font could have been changed. Yes, Abhinav. Some photo angles could be changed or could be different. Okay.
And
so
sir, if it is sent to other country, then the currency will also change.
Yeah. So content around it will change. Yes, Nirvik. The content around it will change. The text around it will change, which could be about the money or font, as Abhinav said. Right. So fair enough. Okay. So media vehicle advertising unit is clear to all of you. We will talk about each of these channels a bit, separately. Let's look at media vehicle of television. Advantage of promoting in television. Advantage of communicating through television. Advantage.
So it goes to a larger population.
It goes to a yes, very large population. Very large population. Sorry, Aishwarya.
Also, I was telling the same point only what topic said. Lack of
Large population. The reach is very high. The reach is very large. We will talk about what reach is. It's a technical word. We will try and understand what reach is in a minute, in the latter half of today's class. But yeah, we can. Yeah, Aishwarya.
It is interesting, like in comparison to the newspaper and radio, visualization, color, music is added.
Yeah, it is an engaging media. Okay, it's an engaging media. It is active media, right? So the level of interest is slightly higher, impact is higher. Nirvik is saying flexibility I have written, I know, but flexibility in what term? Visualizing is believing, yes. So a lot of times TV ads have a lot of high recall value. Nirvik, recall value काफी high होता है. Demonstration देना easy होता है. Okay? Demonstration देना easy होता है. Premium, yes, Abhinav, a lot of times even premiumness is added, is considered. Brands shown on TV are considered premium, fair enough. Regular viewing, you can telecast it again and again, although it is expensive. Meenakshi, I don't know what do you mean by flexible here? Flexibility in this case. Meenakshi, are you there? Okay, while she answers. Okay, disadvantages. Disadvantages.
It costs a lot.
Expensive. It is expensive. Yes, it is expensive. It is expensive. It is expensive to create a TV ad. It is also expensive to telecast a TV ad. Okay? Telecast a TV ad is fine, Manas. It is expensive to telecast a TV ad and broadcast it. Limited viewer attention. Very good, Idrisri. Limited viewer attention. Difficult to capture attention of the consumer. Expensive की बात हो रही थी. Yes, TV ads are expensive. However, you should also remember that still, even today, very good. Lots of market research needed or should be done. If not done, should be done prior to advertising, because you are investing a lot of capital or a lot of money in creating a TV ad. Research होनी चाहिए, बिल्कुल सही है निर्भय. The other thing that I wanted to mention was that although some of you mentioned that it's pretty expensive, and that is true, and I also agree. However, remember that despite being an expensive media vehicle, TV's cost per exposure is still very low. Okay, cost per exposure matlab total cost invested per viewer. Okay, why is that number small? Cost per viewer that you got? Because
Yours is large.
Because the number of viewers is very large. Because the denominator is very high. Again, as Avik and Aishwarya were making a point earlier, that it reaches a large number of consumers. Because of which, now it should strike you for which categories and brands TV make a lot of sense, and for which categories and brands it will not make a lot of sense.
So for like the things which normal people use, for that we
everybody is normal.
Like
FMCG. Why? When what is large? What is large?
Consumers.
Very good, Aliva. The number of target consumers is very large. Okay, when the target consumers base is very, very large, then TV makes a lot of sense. Which is why, if I ask you which categories and brands spend a lot on TV advertising or mass advertising, specifically TV.
FMCG.
Automobiles. FMCG, yes. Automobiles to a great extent. Okay, automobile. Electronic goods, correct. Okay, fair enough. Sunit mentioned automobiles, और ये बात मुझे काफी students पूछते हैं, and पता नहीं क्यों पूछते हैं. But a lot of students, I don't know if I've addressed this question, but I will readdress it in this class, because now you have a better understanding of things. Why don't you see a TV ad for a Jaguar or a Rolls Royce? Okay, why don't you see that? Okay, and even for BMW and Audi, the TV ads are very, very limited. Why?
Target customer is low.
Because they are
Okay, one at a time. One at a time. Yeah, Bhaskar. Target customer is? Size. ये जो स्टड वाली लाइन है, पता नहीं किसने बताई है, मतलब किसी तो प्रोफेसर ने बताई, मुझे पूछना पड़ेगा अरविंद सर से, तो सर कहाँ किसने बोला, सबको याद रहता है, which is fine, but from marketing perspective, ऐसा नहीं है कि वो टीवी नहीं देखता, कुछ तो देखते हैं ना, but mass promotion doesn't make sense, okay, because the number of
Customers are
Target
less.
customer is low.
the
The number
target
of
customer
consumers
base
are
is
very low.
very low. So using a mass promotion media vehicle is a lot of waste of money. One big disadvantage of TV, or for more, not all, but most mass promotion methods, is that it is very difficult to be specific, target specifically. That becomes a big challenge. और TV में तो बहुत बड़ा challenge है. TV में तो ये big issue है. You can't, मतलब targeting specifically is a very, very difficult, okay, thing to be done. Okay, हाँ Rishabh, you wanted to add something? And
No, sir. I wanted to say the same thing.
Right. So the target consumer base is very limited. So TV ads for middle class people. ऐसा नहीं है गौतम. TV ads are not for middle class people. TV ads are also premium. Brands do that. So we don't advertise because people who love us don't sit in front of TV. That is not true. Okay, or maybe because Ford does TV advertising. Okay, all this is not true. Almost a lot of brands do TV advertising, but you should understand that few brands, Rolls Royce will not do. Rolls Royce कितना बिकता है? कितना बिकेगा इंडिया में? In a year, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100. For those 100 sales, TV is not big. Nobody is going to buy a Rolls Royce or a Jaguar after watching a TV. Okay. However, Jaguar can do a TV ad. The objective will be
Inform.
No, little bit of inform that yes, we are launching this, or we were awarded this, or we are coming up with an
Building brand.
building brand. Yes, Neha and Aliva. Building brand and reminding. That is what they will do through TV. Okay, somebody mentioned earlier, premiumness and all that, and that too in very specific channels. Okay, where will Jaguar do it? Where will Jaguar do it? The brand building. Which media?
News channels.
News channels. Correct. News channels, business channels. That is where they will do it. Okay. So it is not that TV is not done by these brands, but for a different way. Okay, you will see a lot of, because this specificity, targeting specific consumer base is a big challenge. You will see BMW or Audi, they are not as niche as they used to be. They are fairly mass in today's times, even in India. But the advertising that they do is in terms of a lot of work they do is in hoardings. They spend a lot of money on hoardings. Okay, a lot of money on hoardings. Where are these hoardings? Because target karna sahi base ko. Where are these hoardings?
So highways.
Urban, metro, highways.
Yes, so business areas where there are more
business areas. Very good, Aditya. Business areas, office areas, and
Markets.
The premium markets, fair enough. Malls, they will do road shows. Punjab, Haryana, where there's a lot of money. Correct, Rishabh. And also near airports. And somebody has, I think Aditya mentioned, business hubs and all. Okay. So you need to be very particular where you are spending your money. Okay. To build on this discussion, how will a Jaguar speak to its consumer? How will a Jaguar speak to its consumer then? If not through TV, then how? बात तो करनी है, बात करनी की नहीं करनी है?
Digital media like Insta and Facebook.
While the
Insta Facebook पे Jaguar not a lot of sense.
Print media.
Yeah. I'll come to print. Print also specific business magazines and all. Print also they will do.
Website.
Website digital. But how do consumers reach website? They one small consumer base. कि अगर साल
sir, any maintenance or something, they visit the showroom and there they can talk.
Yeah, so if there are, that's an inquiry which comes. Okay, that's an inquiry which comes. Somebody comes and inquires. Okay. Organizing events, very good, Gautami. A lot of these brands, see, you need to speak on a one-on-one basis. पूरे साल में 100 गाड़ियां बिकेंगी रोल्स रॉयस की और जैगुआर की 500 300 whatever 300 400. Okay, we are talking about such low base numbers. I don't know what was Jaguar sales in India, but you're talking about very small numbers, right? So you need to communicate on a above the line or below the line?
Below the line.
Below
The line. Okay, so Gautami is mentioning we will do events. Okay, they will do an event where invite will be open to all or by very restriction.
Very restricted, sir.
Very restricted by invitation only. Yes, there will be a database, Aditya. Unko invite jayega, 1,000 people will come. They will be treated in a 5-star hotel like Taj. There will be drinks, dinner, entertainment, and then contact and network will be built. And they will showcase the car and leave it there. Sale nahi hogi wahan par. Showcase the car and leave it. And because of the data and the networking, then eventually the sale will happen on a one-to-one basis, personal basis. That is how they will speak. That is how these conversions will happen. Okay, so like Arpan is saying कि अगर inquiry generate, आशीष I'll come to you. Inquiry generate हो गई, कोई आया भी है ना जैगुआर के शोरूम में, data capture हो गया forever, and then that person will be approached if that person doesn't return. Okay, because inquiry करना था. Atmaram is not going to approach you if you go and do not buy anything, but Jaguar showroom is going to approach you, keep approaching you. Okay, yeah, Ashish. So you need to understand the power of lead is here.
Sir, can you say that the brand like Jaguar, they can advertise through gaming platform also?
Yeah, so there is something called product placement. We will talk about what product placement is. A lot of time product placement and all also happens. Aston Martin. Who drives Aston Martin? James Bond. Okay, so you have to look at different ways of building your brand. Your regular ways of brand building will not happen. Okay? Gautami, good point. Yeah, print advantage.
Low on cost.
Cheaper and
relatively cheaper. It is not very cheap. Huh? Print is not very cheap. Relatively cheaper than TV and
more information are there.
More informative. Yes, Ashish. Print has the power to give a lot of information. Okay, because this space text. Targeting is again relatively more specific. Targeting is relatively more specific as compared to TV. So you can change the language, you can change the geography, and same campaign can be run in different newspapers and different geographies. So print is relatively more specific. That is true away. Let's look at Ashish's point. Okay, Ashish is saying that more information. Which categories will use will remain because for a longer period of time? Fair enough, Rishabh. Yes, information will remain for a longer period of time. Absolutely right. And more information. Okay, which categories would like to use print?
Real estate.
Real estate. Very good, Aditi. Real estate. Real estate works a lot on print because they need to provide a lot of
information.
कि ये BHK है, ये location है, airport से इतना दूर है. Okay, this is the price if they want to give build by this builder के पास project ये थे, etc. etc. Okay, यहाँ से ये balcony है, view है, blah blah blah. Lot of information देना पड़ेगा. Real estate works well. The other thing which Avik was mentioning, in real estate, the catchment area will be the entire country or local geographies for real estate. Local geography. Because of which, what makes sense? Print or TV? Print. Which is why you will not see a lot of big builder developer ads on TV. और अगर बिग बिल्डर डेवलपर का एड आएगा टीवी पे, वो किसी प्रोजेक्ट स्पेसिफिक पे नहीं होगा, क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव होगा?
उसका ब्रांड नेम बढ़ाने का,
ब्रांड बिल्डिंग बढ़ाना. So you should understand these things now. It should strike you. Okay, good points. I really like the way you guys are thinking. Meenakshi, high engagement print में I am not sure. High engagement देखो टीवी के कंपैरिजन में तो कम ही है engagement because it's a active media or a passive media. Passive media. So relatively तो देखो engagement कम है, but of course print can also be engaging. Okay, print can be engaging. You're right, but relatively थोड़ा कम होता है क्योंकि वो movement नहीं है. All that you can't create a Zuzu campaign on a print only. Okay, on a print only. But print can be very interesting. Amul does mostly print. Amul does mostly क्या? Actually, Amul does only print, and it can be very engaging. Meenakshi, no, you're right. Okay, but print में थोड़ा ज़्यादा creative होना पड़ता है. Educational institutes, real estate का example दे रही थी अदिति. Educational institutes use a lot of
Print media. They use print media.
Why? Because they have to give a lot of
information.
A lot of information.
Information. ये स्टूडेंट हैं, इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट हैं, वो फ्रॉड एवरेज सैलरी बताना होता है, वो फ्रॉड 100% प्लेसमेंट बताना होता है, तो पूरा वो पूरी कहानी है. एंड इट इज मोस्टली हाइपर लोकल. कैचमेंट एरिया इज मोस्टली
Local.
Byju's is the opposite, sir. Byju's only does TV ads.
See, Byju's does print also. Byju's is not is a local. एक तो वो लोकल वाला नहीं है अभी. Byju's is a pan India. डिजिटल है ना? हाँ, ऑनलाइन है. एब्सोल्युटली राइट ऐश्वर्या. ऑनलाइन है, फिजिकल तो नहीं है. कैचमेंट एरिया पूरा कंट्री है. ठीक है, मतलब जब तक सीबीएसई को नहीं खरीद लेंगे तब तक Byju's ग्रो करता रहेगा. ठीक है, तो वो तो वहां पर मास में जाना है. ठीक है, और कैटेगरी नहीं है तो क्या करना है? कंज्यूमर को, पूरे मास को क्या कराना है? इन्फॉर्म कराना है कि भाई ये बहुत जरूरी है, तुम्हारे बच्चे के लिए जरूरी है, अगर नहीं किया तो बच्चे का करियर बर्बाद है. तो इन्फॉर्म कराना है, तो इसलिए वो इम्पोर्टेंट है टीवी करना. बट दे डू प्रिंट ऑल्सो, दे डू डिजिटल ऑल्सो. They do a lot of digital.
Electronic zone at the print, they use print media. Like
electronics also, like yeah.
Mobile phones, AC.
So mobile phones.
Mobile phones. Okay, let's look at mobile phones. That's a good example which Aliva is also giving. See, I'll tell you, टीवी में मेजर ऑब्जेक्टिव जो मतलब जो देखो, इन्फॉर्म, परसुएड और रिमाइंड, तीनों काम हर मीडिया से हो सकता है. टीवी में लेकिन ब्रांड बिल्डिंग और इन्फॉर्म वाला काम बेटर होता है. ठीक है, प्रिंट में कौन सा काम बेटर होता है? प्रिंट में पर इन्फॉर्म एंड परसुएशन. ओके, ये काफी अच्छा होता है. ब्रांड भी बन रहा है, ऐसा नहीं है, डोंट गेट मी रॉन्ग. सी, थिंक अबाउट मोबाइल. अलीवा ने एग्जांपल दिया, हमको लगता है प्रिंट एड कोई नहीं पढ़ता है. थिंक अबाउट योर ओन बिहेवियर. व्हेन यू आर नॉट थिंकिंग ऑफ बाइंग अ मोबाइल फोन, you have just bought a mobile phone, you will ignore all mobile print ads, right? You will never go through them and all that. क्या clutter है, कौन पढ़ेगा, हम तो अपनी कोर्स की किताब नहीं पढ़ते हैं, पीपीटी नहीं पढ़ते हैं. But when you are considering buying a mobile phone, तब उसी न्यूज़पेपर में वही प्रिंट एड, what do you start doing?
Reading.
You start reading it. Yeah, you get into the details and you make notes. और ऋषभ ने काफी अच्छा पॉइंट बोला था थोड़ी देर पहले, that the information stays for a longer period with you and all that. Okay, so more information and a longer duration के लिए. टीवी में 30 सेकंड का है, बट प्रिंट तो तुम्हारे पास है हमेशा. तो प्रिंट में वो कन्वर्जन होने के चांसेस काफी हो जाते हैं. ओके, स्पेशली विद द कंज्यूमर्स हु आर थिंकिंग ऑफ बाइंग योर प्रोडक्ट और एटलीस्ट गेटिंग ट्राइंग दैट कैटेगरी. ठीक है, सो अब इसीलिए बायजूस प्रिंट भी करता है बट कम करता है. Any other flexibility and all? Any other? No. Okay, I'll show you a few examples of print. Jewelry also in print. Yes, Abhinav, jewelry also in print. So a lot of brands. Insurance also. Yes.
Banking,
जब banking information देना है ना अदिति, कि you can open your account in 3 minutes and the rates have gone down and all that. So They do a lot of print. I'll show you a few print ads which are very beautiful and also award-winning ads. So Meenakshi was saying print can be engaging. So print can be engaging. Campaigner. Which brand?
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
What are they saying? What are they saying?
Free Wi-Fi.
Free Wi-Fi at the outlet. Okay, without even writing a text. This is how they have done. Okay? Very beautiful ad. This is an award-winning ad by FedEx. What are they communicating?
Global outreach.
One is global outreach, yes.
Relationship.
And sorry, come again.
Relationship.
No, not so much relationship. Global outreach and
Very fast.
Speed.
Sorry.
So very fast.
Fast. Speed
So
of
they are
delivery
able
and
to
ease of.
deliver at the remote locations.
Remote वाला उतना नहीं है, but हाँ global outreach ज़्यादा है. There is a difference between the two, Rishabh. But speed of delivery and ease of delivery. Speed of delivery and ease of delivery. That was the main. That it is like sending products through FedEx is like handing over the product to your
Neighbor.
neighbor. Okay, neighbor. Yeah, so that's what they are saying. There was also a little bit of controversy because the map is not to the scale. Map is not to the scale. Do you think Australia is placed correctly? No. Okay. So why have they done it? गलती है या intentionally होगा ऐसा किया होगा? What is the creative liberty there? Intentionally. Why? So that they can show the
Overseas delivery.
Show a lot of geography, including overseas, in a small space. Okay, in a small space. So don't learn these things. But ऐसा हम लोग कई बार ब्रांड वगैरह में कहते हैं कि थोड़ा चीट मार दे. तो हम एडवर्टाइजिंग एजेंसी को जब हम क्रिएटिव देखते हैं, तो मतलब मैंने भी किया हुआ है. तो जैसे मान लो एक क्रिएटिव ऐड बना है पोस्टर वगैरह का और वो सिगरेट को पैकेट के साथ दिखा रहे हैं, बट सिगरेट का लेंथ मुझे छोटा लग रहा है, ठीक है, तो उससे कंज्यूमर को फील नहीं आएगा, तो हम कहते हैं थोड़ा चीट मार दे. मतलब क्या करेंगे कि वी विल शो दी सिगरेट स्लाइटली
Bigger, like in
longer than the packet or a product which is kept next to it. So proportion थोड़ा change कर देंगे, उसको कहते हैं चीट मार देना या क्रिएटिव लिबर्टी ले लेना. तो कई बार करते हैं, बट ये सब ज्यादा सीखना नहीं है, ठीक है, जरूरत पड़ने पे करना. Okay. Advertising is also done at various places like billboards. Okay, you have understood the use of billboards, yes or no? Okay. Billboards target specific करते हैं और particular areas पे. Again, mainly billboard का use कहाँ पे होगा? Inform, persuade और brand building.
Inform and persuade.
Persuade उतना नहीं होता है आदित्य. Mostly inform और brand building के around ही होता है. Because the attention which is there is very less. Okay? Public spaces, etc. Product placement. Somebody was mentioning about Jaguar gaming on Ashish बोल रहा था कि
yes sir, yes.
somebody was so you will see big brands do a lot of this. मैंने example दिया, James Bond drives Aston Martin. Any other example? Product placement, brand building में बहुत help होता है. Spider-Man, Audi, okay. Who drives Audi in Spider-Man? All the cars are Audi.
In PUBG.
In PUBG? Which brand?
Bajaj, I think.
Bajaj in PUBG. Come on, Krish क्या पीता है? Transporter movie uses Audi, okay. Transporter movie uses Audi, okay.
Bonvita.
Correct Sambit. Krish Bonvita पीता है क्या अभी? Red Bull?
In Johnny English Reborn, the series, that it was only done in Rolls-Royce.
It was only done in Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce का काफी product placement होता है. Rolls-Royce का काफी product placement.
NFS game.
हाँ. Which brand?
There are many brands.
Sir,
Okay,
Adidas-
movies.
सर फिल्म्स में से जो तारा रंपम में रेसिंग कार्स F1 कार्स
F1 नहीं मतलब which brand? So movies में any movie example? Come on, movie example.
नहीं जो
Harshad Mehta Lexus, okay? हाँ Harshad Mehta Lexus, but that was based on real life, so nothing could have been done. Anyways, they could not have changed. Heineken for the movie Skyfall, okay, Piyush, good one.
Sir, BMW for Mission Impossible.
BMW for Mission Impossible. You would have seen Royal Enfield for Kabir Singh. Big time product placement in Kabir Singh. Okay, only Royal Enfield. Okay. Point of Fast and Furious Corona Bear. Okay, Fast and Furious Corona Bear. Fast and Furious cars कौन सा वो product placement है? पता नहीं if it is brand or not. Okay. Another. So this is all about advertising. Then sales promotion. Okay, sales promotion. Sales promotion is like ये वही चीज है जो तुम मुझे पहले दिन से सिखाते आ रहे हो. क्या है sales promotion is like?
So discount and all.
Discount and all.
Buy one get one
off,
free and
buy one get one free and 30% off, 20% extra. Does this work? Does it not work? Does it impact sales? Does it not impact sales?
sir, it impacts.
It does impact sales. Okay. So remember, it does impact. Very high impact, and more than high impact, Adit, immediate impact also. Okay. So these things do work. But what I always try and remind you that be careful before applying them, because one, it does not work everywhere. Okay. So हमने pricing वगैरह पढ़ा था. For example, it will not work in salt. It will not work in matchstick. Why will it not work in salt and why will it not work in matchstick? Because
Price is so low that no one will care.
The price elasticity, price is very low, nobody will care. Price elasticity is low. Okay. Education, it will not work. Why will it not work in education? Hospital, it will not work. Why?
So people looking for quality assurance.
Quality assurance is more important than pricing discount. Thanks, Rishabh. Okay. So you have to be very careful and particular where you use it and why you are using it. Okay. So for Apple, it will not work. Okay. For Apple, it will not work. For Audi and BMW, it will not. So always remember where it works, where it doesn't work. Also, sales promotion will require when you run a sales promotion, it will require.
Sir, frequency is a big factor.
Kya frequency, Adit? I would really like to hear that. Actually, I wanted to make that point.
Sir, as you were saying about the hospital, you said the hospital will never give a discount or one plus one. That's because the consumers know that the frequency of coming here is very low. And using the second time,
frequency can also be a factor. Okay, sorry, Adit, frequency can also be a factor, and you have a valid point. But I'm saying frequency is not the only reason why you should not be, running sales promotion. Salt में तो frequency high है ना, matchstick में तो frequency high है. But I'm saying there will not works. Matchstick will not work. Salt में that might work sometimes, but matchstick में it's not gonna work. So you need to understand that. So frequency could be a factor. But the bigger factor are price elasticity, competition, demand कैसा है, category कैसी है, brand कैसा, ये सब ज़्यादा important factors हैं. Sales promotion requires a lot of money. Okay? Sales promotion requires a lot of money because it costs you. Also, remember, if your consumer is only with you because of your sales promotion, which means what do they not have for your brand? Loyalty. Will you be able to run the sales promotion throughout the brand life? No,
sir.
No. Okay. And the moment you stop doing it, then what will the consumer do? She will
switch to other brand.
Switch to different brand. So then it doesn't make sense. Okay. So you can never buy loyalty. That's what I try to remind you. Loyalty kahan se aayegi? It will only come by building a brand. Okay. ये चीज हमेशा याद रखना. ठीक है. सेल्स प्रमोशन क्या इम्पैक्ट करता है? Immediate sales चाहिए तुम्हें, it is fine. You want to generate trials, it is fine. You want short-term gains, it is fine. But a long-term brand will never be built on sales promotion. Your brand will always get discount. Okay. So there are a lot of brands which are always on sales promotion or discount. They don't do very well over a longer period of time. Okay. But of course, competition factor and industry will also have a role to play. Any questions? Okay. Public relation PR ये क्या होता है? What is this PR? PR and events actually एक साथ ही ले लेते हैं. PR क्या होता है? Public relation.
So talking to the consumer internally or externally?
Not internally, actually, Rishabh. I really like the way you are phrasing it. Speaking to the consumer using, not letting them know that it is an ad. How do you do a PR activity? What do you do in a PR activity?
Wishing birthday, like
using
message mail.
Press conference.
Press conference. Very good, Aditi. Okay, using a press conference so that the press conference gets covered in. So press conference is the event, and PR activities that conference gets covered in.
Yeah.
The media.
In media, news media.
News media.
Okay, news media. So that is what PR is about. Okay? You will see, so public relations, okay? So you will see a lot of news articles, which are actually not news articles. Okay? Which are actually not news articles. You would see a lot of, जैसे मान लो गोलमाल सीरीज का गोलमाल फ्रेंचाइज है ना, मूवी फ्रेंचाइज. So अगली गोलमाल मूवी फ्रेंचाइज आने वाली है. तो you will suddenly see कि भुवनेश्वर टाइम्स या कैलकाटा टाइम्स में या दिल्ली टाइम्स में there is a तुषार कपूर न्यूज आर्टिकल इंटरव्यू. तुषार कपूर का इंटरव्यू कौन पढ़ता है? तुषार कपूर का इंटरव्यू तुषार कपूर खुद भी नहीं पढ़ता है, उसकी मम्मी भी नहीं पढ़ती थी उसका इंटरव्यू. किसने पढ़ता है? Why is that interview timed like that? अचानक से क्यों तुषार कपूर का इंटरव्यू गोलमाल मूवी के पहले आया? किसने वो क्या है? Who has done it?
PR team.
So PR team.
Of the movie franchise of Golmaal, correct. So they have gone and spoken to Times of India and they have purchased that space. उन्होंने वो खरीदा है, वो कोई न्यूज आर्टिकल नहीं है, कोई न्यूज आर्टिकल नहीं है, वो इंटरव्यू की जगह खरीदी गई है, वो कंटेंट दिया गया है, फिर वो कंटेंट पब्लिश हुआ है. बट टू अ नॉर्मल यूजर रीडर दैट इंटरव्यूज लाइक अ
Normal news.
नॉर्मल न्यूज और अ नॉर्मल इंटरव्यू. So इस तरह से होता है PR. Okay, so there's a lot of lobbying which happens and press conference अदिति ने बोला. And so you will see, for example, अचानक से HUL हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर का एक न्यूज आ गया टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया, जिसमें they are telling कि उसके CEO का इंटरव्यू है and they are saying that HUL is the first company in this country to have 50% women workforce. ठीक है, ये कोई न्यूज आइटम नहीं है. It is a PR activity done by
The PR
HUL.
team of HUL.
PR team of HUL. तो उन्होंने वहां पे वो कराया है. लेकिन इससे क्या फायदा होता है कि एक बार वो आर्टिकल पब्लिश हो गया इंटरव्यू, other media houses would also like to talk about it. It becomes viral or people start talking about it. Then people start replicating it. तब फिर PR टीम को कुछ काम नहीं करना, वो फिर धीरे धीरे अपने आप वायरल होता है. Do you get the logic? Okay, then people will start talking about that. अरे HUL is very women friendly company and all that. Okay, PR के केस में PR एक्टिविटी के, अच्छा by the way, और कहाँ पर देखा तुमने न्यूज आर्टिकल बड़ा छपता है, इंटरव्यू न्यूज आर्टिकल किस कैटेगरी में होता है?
So magazine.
बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. एजुकेशन, आदिति. ओके, किसके आर्टिकल छपते हैं भाई उड़ीसा में? बहुत
कीट.
ऐसा, हाँ कीट का. मतलब टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में कीट कॉन्क्लेव पे न्यूज आर्टिकल आता है. मतलब केसॉम का कॉन्क्लेव, केसॉम के स्टूडेंट नहीं अटेंड करते हैं. टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया को क्या मतलब है केसॉम के कॉन्क्लेव से? कैसे गया है वो न्यूज आर्टिकल? कैसे पहुंचा वहां पर? कोई कवर?
हमारे
PR team of college.
बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग PR टीम है. They would talk to Times of India, block the space, give the content, and then ensure that this gets published. Okay? इससे क्या होता है? By the way, मैं ये दिखाना चाह रहा था तुम लोगों के भुवनेश्वर टाइम्स में ये आर्टिकल है, जिन लोगों ने नहीं पढ़ा है पढ़ लेना. Okay, the news article which has been published in Bhubaneswar Times on Sasmita Samanta. पढ़ लेना. Okay, and then think whether it's a news article or a PR activity. Recreating presence of brand. PR activity is mostly aimed at brand building. Okay, किन टाइप की कैटेगरीज और ब्रांड्स करेंगे? बहुत ज्यादा करेंगे, इसलिए PR एक्टिविटी. So generally
loyal नहीं है.
जिनका कस्टमर बेस लॉयल या जिनके लिए लॉयल्टी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ओके, और जिनका शायद कस्टमर बेस बहुत बड़ा भी नहीं है. You need fewer consumers or customers but strong ones. Okay, so वहां पर भी ये होता है. Okay, वहां पर भी ये होता है PR वगैरह. You will see a lot of PR activity in B2B companies. क्या करेंगे B2B companies like B2B companies like
L&T.
L&T. Very good, Rishabh. L&T क्या करेगा L&T?
Sir, it's basically infratech and
What will they do? Tell me PR activities. Tell me PR activities that L&T will be involved. Sorry, Sunil.
Testimonials.
Testimonials is when they will go and sell. Testimonial is also okay, but PR activities. So L&T will do what? Birla will do what? Kit will do what? So there'll be certain events and social activities, or it could be non-social activities also, and they will ensure that media covers it. Okay, I'll give an example. Accenture. Okay, events and promotions, events and PR go hand in hand. Accenture sponsors what kind of events? What kind of events will Accenture sponsor? And then ensure that it gets covered in the media. Come on. Accenture, Infosys.
College events.
College events will not make sense. College events, why will college events make sense? Sometimes college events might make sense to build not consumer brand or customer brand. Wahan par they are trying to create an employer brand. So that students join the company or opt for the company. That's a different branding. That's internal branding. Okay, but not around that. That also does happen, Rishabh. Customer branding aimed at customers. Come on, quick. Where will Accenture be present and TCS be present and Infosys be present? Where will BMW be present? Salary hike नहीं हो रहा है. Salary hike नहीं. ये brand event इसलिए करा रहे हैं मिस सिंह कि कम salary देनी पड़े क्योंकि आप brand के लिए Accenture join करेंगे. Where will these companies be present? Which events? Come on.
Tech events.
Business events. Tech. Yes, correct, Abhinav. Business events, tech events. Okay, there they will build a brand. Okay, and there they will reach out to who will be present in those tech events and business events. जहाँ पर Accenture उनसे बात करेगा.
Other business.
So media people.
Media people, other businesses, and
Students.
Customers.
No. What? Who from customer side? Who from customer side?
Investors.
Job aspirants.
No.
Business
job
unit.
aspirant हो गया भाई.
Business units.
Business heads. Sharda, business heads. So the CEO will be present and CXO will be present and CIO will be present and CTO will be present. तो वहां पर बनेगा नेटवर्क और वहां पर होगी बात शुरू और उसके बाद 10 महीने 1 साल के बाद होता है क्लोज, डील क्लोज होगा. ओके, सो दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स विल हैपन. जो सिमिलर टू व्हाट जैगुआर वाली बात करी ना हमने. Accenture sponsors. Accenture is very closely associated with golf. They sponsor a lot of golf events और उसका PR एक्टिविटी करते हैं. फिर वो पहले इवेंट स्पॉन्सर करते हैं, फिर वो उसका PR एक्टिविटी करते हैं कि ये गोल्फ इवेंट हुआ था कैलकाटा में, इतने CEOs आए थे, इससे बात हुई, ये हुआ, प्रेजेंटेड बाय Accenture. क्यों गोल्फ इवेंट के साथ एसोसिएटेड है Accenture गोल्फ के साथ? Why golf?
Because golf, normally the business leaders go for playing golf.
Correct. Because mostly business leaders play golf, and you get access to a lot of senior managers when you're associated with golf. Okay, so you will not believe the kind of deals which get signed on golf courses. Okay, the kind of deals which get signed there. Okay, वो देखा है ना हर्षद मेहता, भास्कर बता रहा था. Okay, anyways, so this is all on ATL. Okay, this is all on ATL, above the line mass promotion. Okay. We'll take a minute's break. This is media. I have given you a broad overview on media. BTL, I'm not talking about one-on-one, etc. One-on-one, word of mouth, etc. Digital में थोड़ा बाद में cover करेंगे. We'll take a minute's break, and when we come back, have your pen, paper handy, calculators handy. We will do a few calculations. बहुत basic करेंगे, but measurement करना है और समझना है कि measurement क्या कर रहे हैं और क्यों कर रहे हैं. Is that okay? Pen, paper, and calculator. We meet at 2:53. Okay, can I have you guys back? Video's on. I'll give you a few basics, basic matrices which measure a campaign. Okay, बहुत ही basic level पे, which we can do within this course. First is what we call reach. Okay, anybody? So मैंने एक campaign चलाया, मैंने एक TV ad चलाया. What is a reach? What is a reach?
Number of viewers.
Number of consumers that they will see the ad once.
Very good. Number of viewers who will view the ad at least once. Okay. And what is impressions? Impressions. What is impressions?
Number of times that are displayed on the screen.
Not displayed. Not displayed. The number of times the ad was
Watched.
watched. लाइव नहीं, टीवी की बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है उसको. ओके, लेट मी क्विकली शो यू. पहली मैंने कैंपेन चलाया, ठीक है, एक ही ऐड है टीवी का है, हाँ टीवी का है. वो ऐड मैंने 4 बार दिखाया. पहले मंडे को एक बार दिखाया, फिर ट्यूसडे को दिखाया, फिर वेंसडे को दिखाया, फिर थर्सडे को दिखाया. तो मंडे, ट्यूसडे, वेंसडे, थर्सडे 4 बार दिखाया. पहली बार 100 लोगों ने देखा, 100 people saw that ad. नेक्स्ट टाइम जब ट्यूसडे मैंने दिखाया तो 150 people saw the ad. वेंसडे को 200 people saw the ad. थर्सडे को 250 people saw the ad. ठीक है. What is the total number of impressions? Impressions or exposures? कितना है टोटल? Abhinav is saying, Abhinav to everyone. Right, to everyone. What is the total impressions?
700.
Total impressions is 700. Why 700?
Total number of people watched.
No, not people. No, not people. The total number of times the ad was
displayed.
The ad was
Watched.
700 का यूनिट क्या है? 700 का यूनिट क्या है? Views. Okay, not viewers. Views, not viewers. Views. Okay, so understand the difference. The number of times the ad was seen. The number of times. सुनीत ने कहा reach होता है number of times you have seen, number of viewers who have seen your ad at least once. Okay? इससे reach आ जाएगा क्या? This data will this data tell me what is the reach? Can I know the reach from this data? No. I'll have to give you additional information. Okay. Let's say first time when the ad was shown, 100 people saw it. सबने वो ad पहली बार देखा होगा कि नहीं देखा होगा?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So first time, how many unique viewers? 100 unique viewers. Okay. Second time में when I showed the ad on Tuesday, unique viewers minimum कितने हैं? That I can say with confidence at least कितने unique viewers? 50. Minimum 50 है और maximum 50 क्यों? Because 150 minus 100. At least 50 लोग तो नए थे जिन्होंने ad पहली बार देखा था. और maximum कितना हो सकता है unique viewers? 150. Which means 150 कब होगा? कि सारे लोग जिन्होंने ऐड देखा वो सब ने ऐड फर्स्ट टाइम पहली बार देखा. ठीक है. तो इट कुड बी एनीवेयर बिटवीन 50 and 150. इफ आई टेल यू दैट सेकेंड टाइम देयर वर 75 यूनिक व्यूअर्स, व्हिच मींस हाउ मेनी पीपल सॉ द ऐड फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम?
So 75.
75. बट कितने लोगों ने देखा था ट्यूसडे वाला ऐड?
150.
ट्यूसडे वाला सेकंड वाला 150 लोगों ने. तो बाकी 75 लोग कौन थे?
Second time viewers.
उन्होंने वो ऐड पहले भी देखा था, मंडे को भी देखा था. ठीक है. Similarly, third time if I tell you that 100 unique viewers saw the ad. Okay, 100 unique viewers saw the ad, which means 100 people saw the ad for the first time. But कितने लोगों ने ad देखा था थर्ड टाइम पे? जब थर्ड टाइम 200 ने. तो बाकी 100 कौन है?
Sir, third time viewers.
Third time view.
उन्होंने या तो नहीं, उन्होंने ऐड या तो फर्स्ट टाइम देखा था
या फिर
या
दोनों
सेकेंड
time
टाइम
देखा।
देखा था या फिर दोनों टाइम देखा था। दोनों टाइम, कुछ भी हो सकता है। ऑल ऑप्शंस आर पॉसिबल। Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
And let's say fourth time I have, when I showed the ad, I had let's say 150 unique viewers. Now what is the reach? What is the reach?
425.
425 unit. Unit
Viewers.
unique viewers. These 425 is the number of people who have seen my ad at least
Once.
once. This is what Suneet was telling us, which means reach of the campaign is
425.
425.
Reach 425 लोगों ने मेरा ऐड देखा है। एक बार देखा हो, दो बार देखा हो, तीन बार, चार बार। सो मिनिमम 1 टाइम देखा है और मैक्सिमम
4 times.
Okay? So my reach is 425, but I can claim with confidence based on this data कि at least कितनी बार देखा है?
One time.
एक बार, at least once, which is why 425 unique viewers is my reach. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How do I find out? Okay, so if I divide 700 by 425, what will I get? $700 by 425. What will I get?
So ratio of impressions versus reach.
Impression versus reach. कितना नंबर है वो?
Sir, 67 something.
67 कैसे होगा? 700 by 425 कैसी बातें कर रहा है?
1.64.
1.64. Okay, 1.64. ठीक है, 1.64. ये 1.64 नंबर क्या बता रहा है मुझे? 700 इंप्रेशन हुए, 425 लोगों ने देखा है. What is this number 1.64? What is? How do I interpret this number?
On an average, 1%.
Engagement?
1.64.
No, engagement नहीं. हाँ, on an average, Avik? हाँ, on an average.
1% for the ad, 1.64 times.
Very good. Viewers who saw the ad, on an average, they saw the ad how many times?
1.64.
This is called frequency of exposure or frequency. Okay. Divided by 425 is equal to 1.64 unit. Avik.
Time.
Yeah. Views. Time. Views per
person.
Per viewer. Okay.
Per unique
views
viewer.
per unique viewer. Basically this is telling me कि जिन्होंने मेरा ad देखा है, the denominator is not population. Denominator is
Unique viewer.
reach. Denominator is reach. जिन लोगों ने मेरा ad देखा है, उन लोगों, जब वो ad देखते हैं, जब उन्होंने ad देखा तो उन्होंने एवरेज कितनी बार देखा? 1.64. उन्होंने वो ad 1.64 टाइम्स देखा. ठीक है, सबने, ये 425 लोग हैं, सबने 1.64 टाइम देखा होगा क्या?
No, sir.
नहीं. किसी ने 1 टाइम, किसी ने 2 टाइम, किसी ने 3 टाइम, किसी ने 4 टाइम, बट ऑन एन एवरेज
1.64.
Okay, is this clear? Impression, reach and frequency. Okay? Another term होता है जो आपने काफी सुना होगा, gross rating point या gross rating point. जब एक कैंपेन के टोटल इम्प्रेशंस को टोटल पॉपुलेशन से डिवाइड कर देते हैं तो उसको बोलते हैं ग्रॉस रेटिंग पॉइंट, कि कितना इंप्रेशन जनरेट हुआ, ओके, कितना इंप्रेशन जनरेट हुआ उस इंप्रेशन के अगेंस्ट। तो अगर मैं तुम्हें ये बताऊं कि ये जो हम कर रहे हैं, ये जो कैलकुलेशन कर रहे हैं, जिस मार्केट में कर रहे हैं, उस मार्केट में टोटल पॉपुलेशन है लेट्स से 500 व्यूअर्स का, 500 व्यूअर्स का टोटल पॉपुलेशन है, तो ग्रॉस रेटिंग पॉइंट कितना हुआ इस कैंपेन का? 1.4। 700 डिवाइडेड बाय 500 which is 140 रेटिंग पॉइंट, 1.4 और 140 ग्रॉस रेटिंग पॉइंट, 1.4 या 140 ग्रॉस रेटिंग पॉइंट। रेटिंग पॉइंट में 100 से population, total population of that the total population which sees that media or is engaged with that media. Okay, I'll give an example. Okay, let me so do this numerical and then you will be able to understand. Okay. Solve this question and it should be clear. What is the total number of impressions?
7.
Total number of impressions is 7.
7.
When the ad was shown the first time, how many impressions it created? Come on, quick.
3.
A time. 3. अभी चलाएगा क्लास अकेले, बाकी लोग क्या कर रहे हैं भाई? अभी को ऋषभ के अलावा बाकी लोग. Second time when the ad was telecasted, how many impressions did it create?
3.
3. And in the third time, how many impressions were created?
1.
1. So total impressions that the campaign has created?
7.
7. ठीक है? Gross rating point for the campaign?
1.4.
7 by 5. First time, why 7 by 5? Because total impressions is 7 and total population is?
5.
Population is 5. 5 households. ठीक है? अभी तुम बोल रहे थे ना टारगेट पॉपुलेशन क्या होता है? Total population, sorry. So people having households in a particular market, that becomes the total population. In this case of TV. Similarly, अगर तुम Facebook पे यही काम कर रहे हो, तो total population becomes the number of users of Facebook. That becomes the total population. ठीक है? Same you can do for any digital media or radio. Number of people who listen to radio becomes the total population. Does it make sense, Avik? Yes or no? Okay. जब ये पहली बार चलाया था कैंपेन फर्स्ट टाइम, तब कितना रेटिंग पॉइंट जनरेट हुआ था?
60.
60. 3 by 5. 3 by 5. No, not 2. 3 by 5. 3 by 5. 3 by 5, 60. सेकेंड टाइम चलाया, फिर कितना रेटिंग पॉइंट जनरेट हुआ? 3 by 5, which is 60. और लास्ट टाइम में कितना रेटिंग पॉइंट जनरेट हुआ? 1 by 5, which is 20. So total पूरे कैंपेन का रेटिंग पॉइंट कितना है? 60 plus 60 plus 20, which is 140. or you can do total impressions, which is 7 divided by total population. 7 by 5, 140. Am I clear? Okay. Target rating point भी कुछ होता है. Target rating point is nothing but total impressions divided by target population. Instead of total population, जब TRP निकालते हैं तो टोटल पॉपुलेशन की जगह टारगेट पॉपुलेशन कर देते हैं. अगर मैं बताता हूं तुम्हें कि इस कैंपेन में टारगेट पॉपुलेशन केवल 4 हाउस होल्ड थे, A, B, C and E. टारगेट पॉपुलेशन वाज 4 हाउस होल्ड. टोटल पॉपुलेशन कितना हाउस होल्ड है? टोटल पॉपुलेशन 5. But if I tell you that the target population is only 4 households, then कितना TRP हो जाएगा? 7 by
4.
7 by 4, which will be 175. TRP कोई डिफरेंस नहीं होता GRP TRP का. GRP में टोटल पॉपुलेशन लेते हैं, TRP में टारगेट पॉपुलेशन. TRP TRP सुनते हो ना, तो टारगेट रेटिंग पॉइंट होता है उसका फुल फॉर्म, क्योंकि टारगेट पॉपुलेशन. इज दैट ओके? न्यूमेरिकल रीच how many? 4. Because 4 households को reach किया है. 4 households have seen the ad at least once. Rishabh, which are those households?
Sir, A, B, C and
E.
A, B, C and E. Am I clear? Okay. Percentage reach is nothing but numerical reach divided by total
households
population. So 4 by percentage reach कितना हो गया? 4 by 5.
4 by 5.
Which is 4 by 5, which is 80%. Okay, 80%. What is the average frequency of exposure? Frequency of exposure क्या है?
Total impression by reach.
Very good, Sharda. Which is, in this case,
1.75.
1.75. Okay. What does this number 1.75 tell me?
Average people were watching the advertisement.
1.7
People,
at least.
No, not at least. On an average, not at least. There's a difference. At least कैसे?
Average views per person.
Not per person.
On an average.
Per unique viewer. Correct, Shivani. Per unique viewer. People who saw my ad, or households who saw my ad, on an average, those households saw my ad how many times?
1.75.
1.75 times. सबने 1.75 times देखा है क्या?
No.
नहीं. A ने कितनी बार देखा है?
3 out of 7.
Right? A ने 3 times देखा है. 3 out of 3 ना? 3 बार दिखाया था ना? B ने 2 times. C ने 1 time. And E ne 1 time. On an average, the ad was seen 1.7 times. 1.5. Okay. Do this one also. Quick. How many impressions? Reach is given, no? Reach कितना दिया है? What is the reach given? What's the reach given? Reach is given, no? What is the reach given?
5 out of 10 lakh.
Piyush?
10 lakh.
1 million. 10 lakh is the reach given, no? The ad was seen by 1 million or 10 lakh millennials. What is the frequency? What is the frequency? 5. So each of them have on an average, seen the ad
5 times.
5 times. Okay. So total impressions कितने हैं?
50 lakh.
50 lakhs or 5 million. Right, Alok? 5 million. Okay. 5 million is the total. Yes, no. मतलब क्या हो रहा है? कैसे पास होंगे? रीच दिया है 1 मिलियन. परसेंटेज रीच कितना होगा? 1 मिलियन डिवाइडेड बाय 70 million. 1 million. 1.43 percentage, right, Sharda?
Yes.
1 million by 70 million. 1.43 percentage. सबका हो गया? ये तो सिंपल है.
Yes, sir.
बस सुनीत और शारदा बोल रहे हैं, बाकी लोग?
हाँ सर, हो गया.
हो गया. ठीक है. शुभजीत, देवोपम, are you able to do it 1 by 70? Okay. GRP कितना होगा? Total impression divided by?
Population, sir.
Population. Total impression कितना generate हुआ है?
5 million.
5 million
by 7 million.
तो 7 नहीं है, 70 है.
70 million, sorry.
5 million by 70 million. Total impression 5 by 70. कितना percentage है? 5 by 70 is
1.4.
7.1. 7.15. So the GRP generated is 7.14. GRP generated is 7.14 or 7.15. Am I clear? 7.14 or 7.15. There's a GRP which is generated. Okay, I had a couple of points to discuss. Key total impression. Okay, so I'll tell you budget. Budget के बारे में बता रहा था ना कि मैं लास्ट में थोड़ा सा बताऊंगा. डिजिटल भी दिखा देता हूँ और फिर मैं बजट का बताता हूँ. So unique visitors to a site, ठीक है? How many people unique? This is equal similar to TV के ad में हम TV के केस में हम इसे क्या बोलते हैं? Unique visitors की तरह से reach. Okay. Impressions तो impressions है. ये Facebook और Instagram से भी वो कर सकते हो, ठीक है? Unique visitors are unique visitors who saw your profile. That is reach. Impression is कि टोटल कितनी बार तुम्हारा अकाउंट या वेबसाइट देखा है, व्यू किया है, ठीक है? Impressions will be greater than reach or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Impressions will always be greater than equal to reach. Impressions will always be greater than equal to reach. Am I clear? Okay. Number of clicks. कि कितने लोगों ने कितनी बार तुम्हारे अकाउंट पे क्लिक हुआ, वेबसाइट पे क्लिक हुआ. Click through rate. People who clicked divided by number of visitors. People who clicked या number of clicks चेक कर लेना. I think number of clicks है divided by number of clicks है शायद. Number of clicks है divided by number of visitors. Okay. Application completed. So yeah, application completed. अगर education site and all है, application है वहाँ पर. Conversion. अगर वेबसाइट पे परचेज होता है, number of people who
Frequently.
number of people who
Purchase the product.
divided by divided by
Number of
Number of people who
visitors.
visit.
Total number of
visited. रिटेल में भी होता था ना कन्वर्जन, नंबर ऑफ पीपल हु परचेज डिवाइडेड बाय नंबर ऑफ पीपल हु विजिटेड, फुटफॉल। सेम यहाँ पर है, सेम यहाँ पर है, नंबर ऑफ पीपल हु परचेज डिवाइडेड बाय नंबर ऑफ पीपल हु, ठीक है। एंगेजमेंट होता है, एंगेजमेंट होता है एनी फॉर्म ऑफ एक्टिविटी विच वाज डन ऑन योर अकाउंट और वेबसाइट। तो अगर किसी ने क्लिक किया है या लाइक किया है या शेयर किया है या कमेंट किया है, एनी फॉर्म ऑफ एक्टिविटी डन ऑन योर अकाउंट और अ वेबसाइट इज अ व्यू के अलावा, व्यू के अलावा एनी अदर एक्टिविटी डन इज एन एंगेजमेंट, इज एन एंगेजमेंट। इज दैट क्लियर? ओके, कॉस्ट पर मिलियन इंप्रेशन। तो कॉस्ट पर मिलियन इंप्रेशन क्या होता है कि एजेंसीज कहती हैं, डिजिटल में भी होता है, टीवी में भी होता है, कहती हैं कि 1 मिलियन इंप्रेशन का, या मिलियन इंप्रेशन में होता है या रेटिंग पॉइंट में होता है, सिमिलर है, क्योंकि रेटिंग पॉइंट भी, रेटिंग पॉइंट किस चीज का मेजर है? रेटिंग पॉइंट इवेंचुअली किस चीज का मेजर है? रेटिंग पॉइंट किस चीज का मेजर है? न्यूमरेटर में क्या है?
Impression.
इंप्रेशन। न्यूमरेटर में, न्यूमरेटर में इंप्रेशंस। पॉपुलेशन का मेजर नहीं है भाई, पॉपुलेशन तो कांस्टेंट नंबर है ना। क्या नंबर चेंज हो रहा है रेटिंग पॉइंट में? रेटिंग पॉइंट पे कौन सा नंबर चेंज हो रहा है? इंप्रेशंस का। तो रेटिंग पॉइंट भी इंप्रेशन का मेजर है और इंप्रेशन तो इंप्रेशन ही है। कॉस्ट पर मिलियन इंप्रेशन बोलता है, मैं जस्ट सिंपल करने के लिए तुम्हें बता रहा हूँ। एजेंसी कहती है कि जैसे मान लो 1 मिलियन इंप्रेशन के लिए हम 2000 रुपए चार्ज करेंगे, 2000, तो उनका कॉस्ट पर मिलियन इंप्रेशन क्या हो गया? रुपीस कितना हो गया? रुपीस 2000 पर मिलियन इंप्रेशन, ठीक है, पर मिलियन इंप्रेशन, ठीक है। तुम जब बजट असाइन करते हो तब तुम इस तरह से असाइन करते हो कि मुझे इतने इंप्रेशन चाहिए। तुम एजेंसी को कहते हो कि मुझे 5 मिलियन इंप्रेशन चाहिए, मेरे वेबसाइट पे हो गया या टीवी एड का हो गया, कुछ भी हो गया। अगर एजेंसी का रेट है 2000 रुपीज पर मिलियन इंप्रेशन और तुम्हें 5 मिलियन इंप्रेशन चाहिए, कितने का बिल बनेगा?
10,000।
10,000। 2000 इंटू 5, 2000 इंटू 5। एजेंसी बोलेगी हमें 10,000 रुपीज दे दो, हम क्या जनरेट कर देंगे?
5 मिलियन इंप्रेशंस।
5 मिलियन इंप्रेशंस, क्योंकि 2000 रुपीज पर मिलियन इंप्रेशन हमारा रेट है। अब सवाल ये उठता है एज ए ब्रांड मैनेजर, एज ए मार्केटिंग मैनेजर, ये जो 5 मिलियन इंप्रेशन है ये कई तरीके से जनरेट हो सकते हैं। ओके, आई विल गिव यू एग्जांपल ऑफ 2 एक्सट्रीम्स। 5 मिलियन इंप्रेशन जनरेट करने का एक एक्सट्रीम तरीका ये है कि इस एड को कितने लोग देखें, मैक्सिमम कितने लोग देख सकते हैं? 5 मिलियन। मगर उस केस में फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या हो जाएगी? 1। 5 मिलियन इंप्रेशन कैसे जनरेट होंगे? 5 मिलियन people will see that ad, but how many times will they see that ad?
One time.
One time. What have you maximized and what have you minimized?
So maximize the reach
Maximize the reach and minimize the frequency. This is one extreme. Am I making sense? Okay. The other extreme is you tell the agency, I want the ad to be seen by only
1%.
one person. And how many times will that person see the ad?
So 5 million times.
5 billion times. So pagal ho jayega, but so that's only as a hypothetical case. In between there are infinite combinations. Okay. So in this case, by the way, 5 million times and one consumer, one viewer. What have you maximized?
Frequency.
And what is minimum? Reach. Only one. Okay. इस तरह से इनफाइनाइट ऑप्शंस हैं 5 मिलियन इंप्रेशन के लिए, ठीक है। तुम बोल सकते हो कि 2.5 मिलियन रीच होगा, फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या हो जाएगी? फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या हो जाएगी? अगर 2.5 मिलियन इंप्रेशन है, फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या हो जाएगी? 2 हो जाएगी ना, फ्रीक्वेंसी 2 हो जाएगी ना। 2.5 मिलियन people will see it and on an average they will see it how many times?
2 times.
2 times. तो टोटल इंप्रेशंस कितने हो जाएंगे? टोटल इंप्रेशंस कितने हो जाएंगे?
So 5 million.
5 मिलियन। सो इस तरह से इनफाइनाइट कॉम्बिनेशन बनेंगे। मैंने तुम्हें 2 एक्सट्रीम का दिखा दिया और एक मीन का दिखा दिया। क्वेश्चन ये उठता है कि वंस यू हैव अ बजट, व्हेन डू यू वांट टू मैक्सिमाइज रीच। देखो कोई भी एक्सट्रीम नहीं होगा रियल लाइफ में। ऐसा नहीं होगा कि फ्रीक्वेंसी 1 होगी और पूरा रीच बिल्कुल मैक्सिमम हो जाएगा, और ऐसा भी नहीं होगा कि रीच 1 होगा और फ्रीक्वेंसी 5 मिलियन हो जाएगी। ऐसा नहीं होगा, कहीं बीच में होगा। बट पॉइंट इज कि व्हेन विल यू बी ड्राइविंग रीच एंड व्हेन विल यू बी ड्राइविंग फ्रीक्वेंसी। when do you want to drive reach?
When you want to inform the customers.
When you want to inform the customers. Very good. जब कुछ नया अनाउंस करना है, ठीक है। और मेरा टारगेट कंज्यूमर क्या है, बड़ा या छोटा? बड़ा। Then I will want to maximize reach. I want to maximize reach. Views. रीच व्यूज नहीं, इंप्रेशन तो डिफाइंड है ना आशीष, व्यूज है ना इंप्रेशन, वो तो डिफाइंड है। 10,000 रुपए दे दिए हैं, व्यूज का लिमिट नंबर डिफाइन हो गया है। द मोमेंट यू क्रिएटेड अ बजट ऑफ 10,000 रुपीज, व्यूज क्या फिक्स हो गया, एजेंसी का इतने व्यूज देंगे। कितने व्यूज देंगे? 5 मिलियन व्यूज फिक्स हो गए हैं। ये व्यूज कैसे जनरेट होने हैं वो तुम्हारा कॉल है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट यू वांट टू डू। अविक और ऋषभ कह रहे हैं अगर इन्फॉर्म कर रहे हो तो रीच को मैक्सिमाइज करो, अगर टारगेट मार्केट बड़ा है तो रीच को मैक्सिमाइज करो। फ्रीक्वेंसी को ड्राइव करने से क्या चीज ज्यादा होगी? रिमाइंड एंड परसुएशन। वेरी गुड सिमरन, रिमाइंड एंड परसुएशन। कन्वर्जन होगा, बार बार बता रहे हो ना उससे, खरीदो 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 खरीदो, तो कन्वर्जन होने का चांस ज्यादा है। और ब्रांड बिल्डिंग होगी, प्लस ब्रांड बिल्डिंग। ये 2 काम अगर करने हैं तो फ्रीक्वेंसी पे फोकस करना, ठीक है। याद रखना रियल लाइफ में कोई भी एक्सट्रीम नहीं होता, इट विल ऑलवेज बी अ कॉम्बिनेशन। बट वो कॉम्बिनेशन कैसे बिल्ड करना है वो डिपेंड करेगा तुम्हारे ब्रांड का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है। एम आई क्लियर? अगर ट्रायल जनरेट कराना है तो रीच और फ्रीक्वेंसी में क्या ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है तुम्हारा? दोनों इंपॉर्टेंट है, बट ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है ट्रायल जनरेट कराना? ट्रायल जनरेट कराना, हाँ। फ्रीक्वेंसी दोनों इंपॉर्टेंट है। फ्रीक्वेंसी से ट्रायल जनरेट होगा। ट्रायल जनरेट करना है मतलब क्या करना है, उसे बार बार क्या बोलना है? परसुएट करना है, परसुएट करना है, तो फ्रीक्वेंसी इंपॉर्टेंट है। एम आई क्लियर? ओके, एम आई क्लियर? फाइन, एनी क्वेश्चन? नो क्वेश्चन? Okay, fine. Then we will wrap up the session as well as my part of the course. I had a lot of fun and I got a very good feedback also from all of you guys. Thank you for that. I had a lot of fun. I hope you also enjoyed. We shall see when we